Hey everyone, welcome to Running Trains Live, all part of Third Rail Thursdays. I got the third Thursday of the month. The first Thursday goes to Dave A88. Be sure to check out his channel. The second Thursday of the month goes to my friend Chris, Go Veer, Go Home. I get the third slot. The fourth and last Thursday of the month always goes to GEVO After Dark, which I will talk about just in a bit. I have a few announcements, very exciting announcements. And the first one is next Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, Community Roundhouse is back. We've been off for a while, but we're back in action. And the guys have a great show, a new format lined up, and a great guest. Good friend of mine. Well, I call him a friend. I've never actually met the guy, but Drew Steele 69 will be on Community Roundhouse. He's our featured guest. And like I said, the guys have a new format laid out. It's going to be great. So Community Roundhouse, back in action. The only thing I don't know is who's hosting the show next Wednesday. So look for announcements on either John's channel, which is School Killer River Valley. He's on the chat, I just saw him. Also, Brian's is the Iron Horse Route. And Vinny's channel, BNSF 6951. All those channels, even Wilmer, Indian Head Valley Railroad, they all might announce who's hosting this great show we have lined up, Community Roundhouse. Next Wednesday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Another big announcement, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to say this. I didn't sign any contracts, any hush notes or agreements or contracts that I can't say anything, so I'm going to give you a little bit of teaser. I've been invited into a project with Big Bill and Model Railroading Live. They're putting together a special feature show, I guess, a weekly show that myself and a couple other YouTubers are involved with. They're going to be about 4 to 5 minute videos a week. And you know what? I said too much, but just be on the lookout for that on Model Railroading Live, their channel. I'm part of that, and I'm very excited. Okay, back to the matter at hand. GEVO After Dark. Next Thursday on Chris's channel, Go Veer, Go Home. It's going to be Chris and I. We are kicking off Season 3. My gosh, already Season 3. We're kicking off Season 3 with a big, special, awesome guest. And I don't want to tell you who it is. I don't want to spoil the surprise. But I'll give you a few hints. I have met him before in real life, even shook his hand before the pandemic. And he works for a fairly large, well-known Canadian manufacturing company that makes mallet trains. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But tune in, GEVO After Dark, Season 3, next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, this time slot. Okay, this time right here on Chris's channel. Go Veer or Go Home. It's going to be a great show, Season 3. If you missed the Season 2 finale, I recommend you go back and watch it. It was a Halloween episode. It was a blast. I want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Thanks a lot for joining. I see your names pop up in the chat, so thank you very much. I also want to thank my moderators, my lovely wife, and Chris. So if you're in the chat, behave. Don't be naughty. Dave, I'm talking to you. They will kick you out, give you a timeout, okay? Speaking of my lovely wife, I'm wearing a new shirt that she bought me. And this is, I want to say, the Via F7? Or is the Via F9? You know what? We'll play it safe and call it the Via F8. Anyway, I love it. It's comfortable. She just always surprises me with buying me stuff online, and this is another great shirt. Maybe I'll give it away as a contest. This actual shirt that I'm wearing. Okay. Also, if you're watching the playback because you missed the live show, be sure to check out the chapters in the description so you can skip to the fun stuff. I have a cheat sheet here in front of me. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, let's get things started. I'm gonna give you a small layout update. Unfortunately, I haven't done too much. Work's been so busy. My wife and I gave us a little bit of a teaser today here in Ontario. The minister was teasing with a 4-week Christmas vacation, and my wife and I were like, please, 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 more time in the train room. And no, denied. Only 2 weeks. I know. But I'm hoping that during the Christmas break I can work on the layout and get a few things done. Okay, I'm going to spin you around and show you what's new. All right, here we go. Like I always do, I'm going to start with my community here of housing. The first house is up. Went pretty fast. My last live show, the concrete was poured. Now the house is up. No one owns it just yet. They're putting the final touches on. This is the roofer up here, putting the last shingle on. They still have a mess to clean up. And you can see that they're starting to build, prepare for the next house. So that is the update. That's all I've done, unfortunately. What about the interior? Nothing in the interior yet. That's coming, maybe. I also picked up these little HO scale barriers. Atlas makes them. Boop. What's the concrete K-rail barriers? I've always wanted a set of these. I don't know why. I just think they're pretty cool. So I placed them here temporarily because this road's still under construction. Cars can't come here yet. We still gotta put a driveway for this house. I'm thinking of putting some of these over my 3M warehouse parking lot. So we'll see. And for the hardcores, you're gonna tell me not to paint those. So I might paint them or weather them. Who knows? The next thing I wanna do, I think I say this every live show, but I really want to start ballasting these industry tracks here. This is no joke. Last weekend, I came in here all ready to go. I stared at it for about 5 minutes and then realized, nope, don't want to do it. So I'm gonna have to wait till Christmas holidays where I'm just kind of relaxed, not worried about work, and get some stuff done. That's my first thing on my list, is to get some ballast on these tracks.
What did you use for roads? James wants to know that.
So these roads here, that's just paint. James, I debated and I hemmed and hawed and I researched and I thought about it, and I just, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So this is just oh my gosh, what's that paint called? Having a brain blank here. Acrylic paint. So they're not true to size. They're not like really HO scale roads. They're, they should be wider. But I didn't want to make it too big. I didn't want to take over the layout. So they're fairly narrow. And it's just a gray acrylic paint. It's about 2 or 3 layers. And I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Same over here with the parking lot. This is all just acrylic paint.
Are you going to add sidewalks?
And eventually going to put some yellow striping. As for sidewalks, again, this street is, I'm kind of like modeling, part of the street I'm modeling my parents' home. So this street's like a crescent. So it's not well traveled. That might change for the layout. But either way, there are no sidewalks where my parents live. There is a sidewalk, however, just like right about here. So I may, again, just paint one in. I'm not sure. So yeah, gravel, paved shoulder. I'm putting in curbs actually. So right now my idea is,
Paved shoulders or gravel?
yeah, so right now I bought this, what is this, balsa wood? Anyway, this is my idea for a curb. Hey, Jack. So I'm gonna glue this into place, paint it, rough it up a little bit. This balsa wood's really delicate, so I'm gonna chip at it. Because, you know, real curbs have dents and chips and they're weathered. So that's my plan. I haven't seen anyone really do this technique, so I'm gonna be a pioneer. And then put the curbs in, and then I'm just gonna build up the turf and grass to meet the curb. Every video I watch, everyone raises their roads, and that's so they can meet the track. I get that, but here in the city, the roads are the lowest point on terrain, and that's for drainage. So that's why I decided not to use the Smooth It, not to use plaster, not to use a textured paint. I just went right on the foam paint. So that's the lowest point on my layout. And then I'm just gonna raise everything else. So we'll see, I'm gonna try it. But like I said, not many people, a few people just paint it or they use like a cardboard. But I want this to be my lowest point in the layout, and I'm just gonna build up around it. So we'll see how it goes. And that way, if it does rain in my train room, the water should seep to the sewers I'm gonna put in. Hey Chris, Dave, my Third Rail Thursday guys, welcome. Hi Heath. Okay, where was I? So yeah, this is all things that, I mean, again, hopefully I get done over the Christmas break. I'm not hopeful, but this section is actual being modeled after my parents' place because there's a dead end. So sidewalk, there are no markings. There might be a stop sign here, so a little stop sign marking here maybe. But again, I'm gonna try to add sewers, like drain holes, the curbs, and then eventually build up the homes, add grass, yada, yada, yada. Heath, I'm not giving away trains tonight, but I am giving away the shirt that I'm wearing, if you're interested. It's a Via F8. That's what we went with. One size fits all. So yeah, this is these bears are new on the layout and the house. I built this already pre-made. I didn't build it myself. But the rest of the homes I will build with kits, which I've shown before. I want to go with modern homes, one story preferably, because again, I am modeling my parents' street, and most of the homes are bungalows, just one floor homes. And they're quite large actually, but they're quite long. So it might only fit like maybe 3 or 4 homes. So we'll see.
Dave 88 wouldn't even wash the shirt.
Dave wouldn't wash this shirt. Thanks, Dave. So lots of projects, lots of things on my to-do list, just no time. And yes, I could make time, but time when work is happening, like when work's on the go, time is very precious, and I just want to sit on the couch, you know, and Netflix and chill. So I gotta fix up this community here. I want to ballast these 2 tracks. Before I do that, I want to, well, apparently I have to, going slow so I don't shake the camera, I have to paint my rails and my tracks and my ties. So I picked up, stay tuned for this video coming, hopefully soon. I picked up the Woodland Scenics track painters. We've got the steel rail. I'm going to try and paint the actual rails. I'm going to add rust to the track. And this is the weathered ties. So if there's time tonight, I might do it live on air. Who knows? Highly, it's doubtful. Because I am, like everything I do in here, I'm nervous to start. But it looks fairly easy. I mean, if Chris can do it, geez, I can do it. And these are like hard to come by. The train store I went to today in Ottawa, or not today, sorry, but last week, they have like one of each. And I couldn't find one of these on OVR, so Otter Valley. Hard to come by, but I found them. They work well apparently. So that's next on my to-do list. Those are the projects I'm going to do right away. Paint the track, then ballast, and then focus on maybe touching up the parking lot here, but I really want to focus on this area. It gets me building more kits, the houses, gets me working on scenery, because people out there are pushing me to do scenery. The peer pressure, I'm telling you, it's crazy. So, like I said, next Wednesday is Community Roundhouse, and we have Drew Steele 69. And as always, Drew is lurking around here somewhere. Let's see. Last month, he was showing off his trick or trunk display at the church. He's no longer there. Oh, there he is. There's Drew and his daughter, the Railfanning duo, standing on top of a public bus. Hi, Harrison. They're Railfanning. Oh, those daredevils. Drew. Teaching his daughter unsafe habits. Drew Steele 69. Check him out. One of my favorite YouTubers. Him and his daughter do Railfanning videos, and there they are. Railfanning my layout. Getting a good view on top of the bus. And what are they Railfanning, you ask? Well, today I have my go-to. I love it. This is a gift from my wife 2 Christmases ago. It's the Atlas GP40 CN DCC and sound. Absolutely love it. Let's make it real close here. I did have the sound on, but it gets so loud in here that I can't hear my wife, and I can't hear you guys on chat. So I'm just I've muted both of the trains. 2 Christmases ago. 2 Christmases ago, sorry. I do mumble a little bit. So that's one train. The other one. Oh, they're gonna meet.
John 2618 loves the buses.
John loves the buses. Thank you, John 2618. Okay, where was I?
How in the world can you hear us in the chat?
Jack, I have special powers. And stop yelling, Jack. Holy, it's loud in here. Okay, this is my brand new. Okay, you know what? I'm not sure what to call it. That's what the discussion's about tonight. What do I call this thing? Technically, it's an ES44 from Walther's Mainline. My good friend Chris, out of the blue, gave me this. He says no strings attached, but I'm still waiting for that other shoe to drop. I'm not sure what he expects me to do. I'm not shoveling his driveway. But I absolutely love it. It's a monster. I haven't tested its full pulling strength yet. Maybe next live show we'll do that. But give me your dog. Chris wants my dog. You know what, Chris? Some nights I would gladly give him away. But not forever. Okay, so this is from Walther's. This is Walther's Mainline. This is an ES44. And I was surprised to find out that you can call this a GEVO.
They want Ampersand. Got our first request.
They want Ampersand. I don't know. Ampersand, I've locked the doors. All he does is cause chaos in here. So I think I have 2 GEVOs now. I thought GEVO was like a, you know, a one train thing, but I did some research. I got my notes here from Wikipedia. So being a teacher, get your notepads out and pencils. We're gonna do a little lesson on the GEVO. I do have my GEVO out here, which I ran last, bye Roy. This is the GEVO I had last live show. I did the pulling. And this is my new GEVO. So now I have 2 GEVOs. So, get my notes, my cheat sheets here. When Chris gave me this locomotive, it looked very familiar to my other GEVO, and I was like, wait a second. This looks oddly familiar. Is this a GEVO? Now in the box that came in, it says it's, you know what, I'll show you what it says. I only want to show the price. Okay, so GE ES44 Evolution. So, Evolution, that's where the GEVO comes from. GE made these, I guess, the locomotives, or at least the motors inside. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just kind of going off Wikipedia. So GE made these locomotives and they called them the Evolution series. That's where the ES comes from, Evolution series. So instead of saying GE Evolution, they just shortened it to GEVO. So they made a bunch of these. We have the ES, so Evolution Series 44. There's the Evolution Series 40. There's AC, there's DC, and this guy right here. Anyone know what that is? Raise your hand. Again, I just call this a GEVO, but this is a very good F40. This is an ET. ET44. So, let's go back. ES stands for Evolution Series, okay? The 44 is, I think the 44 is the number of men that sacrificed their lives when they were building the locomotive. Does that sound right? No, 44 is the horsepower in the locomotive. Very good, Bubs. Gold star for you. So take the number and multiply it by 1,000. So ES44 means it has 4,400 horsepower in the locomotive. Now, this is where I'm a little spotty with my information, so you got to help me out. This, let me see here. Okay, so, like F40 said in the chat, this is an ET44AC. Now I know it's an AC because it's labeled on the box. The Walther's GEVO says ES44 and that's it. It doesn't say if it's AC or DC. So my question to you out there in chat land, how do I know if it's AC or DC? And DC is direct current, believe it or not, and AC is alternating current. So how do I know if it's AC or DC? Chris called this an AC44, and like, how many names does this thing have? If you see this in real life, what do you say? Here comes a GEVO. Oh look, here comes an ES44. Oh look, here comes an AC44. Oh look, here comes a big CN train. That's what I would say. What's common? How do I know if it's AC or DC?
ET is DC.
What's that?
ET is DC according to Jack.
Jack says ET and ES is DC. Yeah, but Jack, this one you gave me, or you sold me here, this is an AC. Noah says I call it a train. Yeah, that's what I call it too. I'm just trying to educate myself because there's just so many models.
David Z to G says hi.
Hello, David Z to Z to G. G to Z. AC to DC. AC DC. So we're gonna say, I guess the Walthers is an AC. I don't know. Okay, next fun fact. What does the T stand for in ET? Do you know? I think Brandon had mentioned it before. That's right, Tier 4. So this guy here is the newest model that GE put out. It's the ET, so it's Evolution Series Tier 4. And the tier corresponds to the emissions that is put out. So the higher the number, so Tier 4, means it's a lot better for the environment. Fun fact, this guy here, I believe, is a Tier 3. And because it's Tier 3, they can only operate in Canada because I guess the United States has higher standards and will only allow Tier 4. Which I found very interesting. What did we do before Wikipedia? I'm telling you, a wealth of knowledge. So this ES44 came before the ET44, the Tier 4. And yeah, it can only run in Canada. I'm just always curious to why, like, excuse me. Okay. So scales trains, look at all the information here. You got GE, Tier 4, GEVO, CN, ET44AC, the number, angle of exhaust. Like so much information here on the box. Almost too much, it's overwhelming. But then Walthers, there's no mention of AC, DC, there's no mention of what tier it is. So it just makes a young guy very confused. And thank God there's a community out there that can help him answer these tough questions. And Wikipedia.
People are answering your questions right now,
The chat's going too fast, I can't read. I'll go back and... Okay, last fun fact about GEVOs. As you know, I do CN, so I was curious to how many there are in their fleet. CN, apparently according to Wikipedia, CN has 125 ES44 DCs. So I need one of those for my collection. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. They have 313 ES44 ACs, which I'm running right now, right there, from Walthers, which is Tier 3, I believe. And they have 286 of these bad boys. The ET44 ACs.
44.
So I find it very interesting. I learned a lot just reading about Wikipedia. Yeah, so I have 2 out of the over what 600 locomotives that Canada or the CN owns. Okay, did I go over everything? There's gonna be a quiz, by the way, at the end of the show on GEVOs.
Jack's gonna win.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining. There's over 40 people in the chat, so that's great. Thank you very much for your support.
Dave Z to G wants to know why it's still under wraps. Why aren't we running it?
Ah. This guy is under wraps because I wanted to be dramatic and open it live on air. And we'll compare it to the ES44.
Yeah, he rails once in a while.
Okay, I'm gonna set you down carefully. I'm never sure what best angle is here. Okay. Not a great angle, eh? I'll get a little closer. I better stop my other train too.
David ZG wants to know if that's DCC with sound.
Both of these locomotives are DCC with sound. I don't have the sound on because the acoustics in here are brutal. And it's just so loud, and I can't hear my wife. And like I said, I can't hear you guys in the chat, so. Okay. Break.
Chris wants to know if the ST1 weathered.
This guy's not weathered, I don't think. Might be dusty, but. You know me, Chris, I do not weather my locomotives or my cars. All right, let's get a little closer here. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can see that, well, where's my pointer stick here?
Nathan says he's curious. I wonder if he could compare the scratch-built locomotive to your longest locomotive.
Nathan, that scratch build one you gave me is huge. It's the king of all locomotives. So it looks like,
One is longer.
yeah, I'm trying to, yeah, they're nose to nose here, but you can tell that just by a bit. The ET, again, this is the newer model. It was built in, I want to say, after 2015. Again, it could be wrong. Hey, Jerry.
Jerry Con says, hey, Mark.
I always want to say Jerry Stats for some reason. Maybe because I'm a math teacher. I don't know. So this big guy here, the Tier 4, is a bit bigger. And the Tier 3, a bit shorter. But you can, I mean, these guys are, they're monsters, they're huge. And if you look at the fronts, again, I'm gonna say that Scales Trains is the better model just because, you know, the price. Walters is a better price, but they, you know, they don't focus on detail too much. But they both sound great, both run well. I like them. So the fronts look very similar. Again, this has the angled exhaust, which I don't know if you can see it on camera. The ends look fairly similar, but yeah, just more detail in the Scales Trains one. Did I take any pictures of trains when I was a young kid? No, I did not. I wasn't a big Railfanner back when I was a kid. I just ran DC trains. You know what, Jack? She misses you too. Late at night, I hear her just kind of whining for her original owner. So there you go. ET44, ES44. All it's missing is my ES44 DC. Need one of those. There you go. Okay, let me give you a bit of a sound demo with the new guy. No, wrong one, sorry. One second, I gotta. The GP wants the spotlight on him. Okay, there we go. There's start up. So it's not too loud, which is nice. I like that. And F0 is the headlight. The headlight's on. I gotta turn the lights off here. F6. Ditch lights. Which is still going. F1 is the bell. School's in. F2 is a horn. F3 is a coupler crash. Okay, here's a question. Does anyone use the sounds other than the bell or the horn? Like the flange squeal or the coupler? Does anyone actually use those sounds when they're operating their trains? Interesting. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Thank you. What else we got here? F7 is the manual compressor. I have no idea what that is, but let's find out what happens here. Ah, yes, the manual compressor. They nailed it. F8's the prime mover sound and startups. We did that. F9, drive hold. Hey, that sounds complicated. That's not a sound, I don't think. Love the whoop. Yeah. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I've ever used that during operations. Mark, what's your opinion about Mahano? The only thing I know about Mahano is that Harrison runs them on his layout and his channel. Other than that, I don't own one, never seen one in real life. But you know, Christmas is coming up. And now's the time where I need some ideas for my wife. So I was thinking of buying my wife a steam engine. But I'm just not sure which one to buy her. Hey, Drew! Were your ears ringing? These were Drew's ears about 8:05 tonight. Okay, can I mute this? Let's get her back and okay. Now, since my guy Jack is on, I'm gonna do, what did you say? Push F9, then turn up the throttle. I don't know, Jack. Can I trust you with that? I'll try it. I'm gonna do a little bit of operating for Jack, because that's his thing. But first I wanna try this F9 thing. Okay. F9. Jack, do I have sound on or sound off? The sound's muted, but do I turn the sound on? Hyperspeed. Stop the train first. Okay. I'm gonna bring it around so you can see it on camera. So F9 is a drive hold. We're gonna see what happens. Kind of nervous there, Jack, but I trust you. See in the instructions here it says F9 drive hold and then in brackets see ESU website for info. Like, holy cow, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go back in time. Okay, train stop. So I'm gonna hit F9 and then go full speed.
Go your steals.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. So sound on. I'll let it start up first, get that over with. Okay, here we go. F9. Nothing happened. Ram the engine. I did. My throttle. Full tilt. It's a maximum. Okay, take off F9. It's a brake. Wow. F9's a brake? Oh, I just heard the brake sound. Okay. Why is it called drive hole? Why is it called like brake sound? Hey, cool. Okay. So yeah, F9 drive hold, also known as squeaky brake sound. Very cool. Okay. That's if you heard that's F10, that's coughing dog. Okay, we're gonna do some operating for Jack. Okay, get you on the yard here. This is where I make Jack cringe because I do everything wrong when operating. My favorite part of the show. Making people who actually work on a railroad cringe. Okay, can you see? Okay, stopping train, flicking the switch into the yard, putting train in reverse. pick up the O&R stuff, the water tank, and the 3 boxcars, which are full of toilet paper. I'm gonna deliver some TP to the States. Train just stopped for some reason. Slow. Speed step 1. Coming in hot. Jack, what's the term whenever they're coupled up? Green light, go ahead, good to go. Tiki-taki, good to go. Okay, training forward. All clear, tracks are clear.
Don't start a run on TP again. Whatever that means.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad joke, I know.
Okay.
Here we go. Successful couple.
Wyatt Bridges is on. Michael McCarville.
Oh, hey, Michael, thanks for joining.
Wyatt, also where that is.
Wyatt, hello. Okay, what's that, Jack? You want to put up more cars? Okay, stopping train. Putting on the brake. Switch in here, we'll pick up the, oh gosh. What, those 2 cars here, what are that? So I think that's, is it sulfur? Or clay? And this is, I think that's maple syrup. Okay, reverse. Switch is switched. Easy. Easy. Not really coupling it though. Couple you.
Your ham sandwich is right.
Successful couple. Training forward.
Jack says stretch it out, Mark, after you always make a joint.
Stretch it out. What does that mean, stretch it out? Like stretch my arms and my neck? The train.
Then red zone?
Red zone. Ugh. I don't know. See, Jack actually works on a railroad. Like.
I know, he sounds so smart.
Yeah. Jack, I just realized that GEVO stands for evolution, the GE evolution. So my brain's full. Like this, I can't take it anymore. Okay, here we go. Success. Let's crank it up. Speed step 3. And since Drew's here, I'm going to show Drew where he is in the layout. Railfanning with his daughter. Yes, if you just joined us. There's Drew and his daughter, the Railfanning duo. On top of a city bus. Dangerous. Drew. Teaching your daughter bad habits. You should know better. Although it's a primo spot for Railfanning, I must admit. You can see above everything. That is my daughter. Did I tell you, Drew? I almost painted a little mask, a little black mask on there. Maybe next month. She goes on top of your car for real? Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna get a close shot here. It's the ES44 AC. The GEVO. My second GEVO. So the problem now with owning two GEVOs is I can't say, I'm gonna grab my GEVO, or I'm gonna run my GEVO. I have to say I'm gonna run my ES or my ET. Put the squeal on. Oh, there is no squeal, I don't think. You see that? Those are the options for the Walthers mainline. Again, for the price, you're not getting as many options as you would with a more expensive locomotive. But like I said, I never use the other sounds. I use the horn and the bell. Although, well, I didn't do the brake, did I? F4. Did I do the brake? I don't think I did F4. Okay, I'm gonna start up again here. Four is switching mode. Oh. Okay, that's going really slow. I don't know. Watch what happened. Well, still learning. F4 is dynamic brake, but I can't seem to get it to work. Okay, turn it off. Again, my train knowledge is very limited, so wherever you set it up, it stays in that speed. Oh, okay. Anyway, this is not even programmed yet. It's still on the default 3 setting, so I want to do that. So, do you know of a good video? I think maybe even Dave A88 put one out, but I want to set up one of my yard tracks here as a programming track. How does one do that? Because the old Zephyr here, so the you can see it there. The white and black wire, that's for track, and then the red wires is for programming. So yeah, let Dave do it. So yeah, Dave, do you have a video on how to do that? Because I'm gonna look it up and see. Because right now what I do is I just take a scrap piece of track and then program it. Which I wasn't gonna do tonight, but you know what? It's almost time to say goodbye. So I won't do that, do it later. Well, you know, see, Brandon, all of these tracks are insulated. They're all separately insulated, like I have switches. So I think I'm halfway there. I just don't know how to hook up these.
I just want you to keep running.
Oh, keep running. Hi, Gaffa. The show is called Running Trains Live, so I guess I better run trains, eh? I don't think I'm going to enter your switching contest, Jack. Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up soon. So if you have any questions, you can ask them now before I sign off. Again, videos to look for. I do want to do a video on this engine, a closer look. I want to do that. I want to do a video on building more homes here. I want to do a video on ballasting the track. I want to do a video on putting in a switch for DC and DCC. I want to do that soon because I do have some DC engines I have to run. So lots of projects. I always have ideas in my head going on, but just no time, like I said. Mark, what's my favorite locomotive? Well, you know what? Right now, this guy right here. But I gotta say, I do like the ones my wife buys me because they're special. I love my Rapido Santa Fe.
Mark wants that tank car.
Mark, I want that tank car. What tank car?
Mark wants that tank car.
Which tank car? This one? 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 This one, Jack, I think I bought from you. Okay, I'm gonna set you down. That brown and white. Oh yeah. No, you're not getting that one.
Red and white.
Oh, bit of an angle here, eh? This one, Jack?
Red and white.
Okay, to wrap things up, thank you so much for watching. I can't believe an hour has passed already. I was a little nervous. I didn't have enough to show you, but turns out I did. And thanks for your great questions, your great answers. Again, like I said, I'm going to quiz you on GEVO. So, ES and ET, what do they stand for? What's the difference? That's your homework. Again, next Thursday, all part of Third Rail Thursdays, is GEVO After Dark. Season 3 starts already. Chris and I have a great guest lined up, so be sure to tune in to his channel, Go Veer, Go Home, for GEVO After Dark. Don't forget, Community Roundhouse next Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We are featuring Drew Steele 69, a great YouTuber, great modeler, even though it's N scale, it's okay. And like I said, look forward to a special project coming from Model Railroading Live. They're putting together a new weekly show involving some modelers, including myself, so it's going to be good. Again, I really want to thank you all for tuning in. I always appreciate it. I know Thursday nights are a busy night, especially with Grey's Anatomy on Thursday nights, so I appreciate you just PVRing that and watching it later. Be sure to tune in for December, Dave 88 first Thursday. Because December has Christmas, I'm going to go the second Thursday and then GEVO After Dark the third Thursday, and then it's Christmas. And I'm sure that my wife, you know what, in fact, I know my wife bought me a Christmas gift because it's already here. She's hardcore. Talk about teasing. So look forward to that video in December, close to Christmas. I'm dying to know what she got me. Apparently, she got me something that I didn't ask for, and who knows, could be a steam locomotive. Okay. Again, thanks to my moderators. Thanks for a great chat. And that's it. Take care.